There is no taking care of this. Our daughter is gone. I carried her. I carried her in my body, Ghost. She was blood of my blood, flesh of my flesh. This isn't just happening to you. Hey, what's up? What's going on, everybody? You have now tuned in to my power recap, guys. Oh my gosh, we have made it to the finale. Shout out to all you guys that have been rocking with me. This is the last episode, and we're going to come back. Next show we'll probably be watching is probably like Empire. I might also do Starz as well, but we'll see what happens. It depends on how my schedule is looking. So let's go ahead and let's jump right into this. Let's talk about this episode. This was action-packed. Like, I was feeling for this since last week out, and they played me out. All right, so Tyriq, he was getting grilled by a police officer. Just they trying to find out if he knows anything, and he's denying everything. And I'm like, you know, I understand you don't want to tell the cops or whatever because they can't be trusted, especially right now. But I feel like at least he should have told his parents something. You know what I mean? Like, this is not the time to be holding stuff. So Kanan meets with Tommy, who was, at that point, he was hanging out with some of his father's people, like just chilling or whatever. And now they were starting to like make a little bit of sense because they were starting to find out that the dudes that tried to kill Kanan, or Kanan now knows that the dudes that tried to kill him was Dre's people. So it's like, oh, okay, you know, he's starting to put two and two together, and everybody's starting to see that Dre's really the snake in this whole fiasco and this whole thing that's going down. So Tasha, she tells Tyriq to like just, if anything, if he knows anything, to just say what he got to say, but he's like, nah, he doesn't know anything. And she tells his father, he's lying. He knows something, but he doesn't want to say it. You just can't tell because he lies just as good as you do. And his dad's like, nah, this was a professional hit. He assumes that it was a Jimenez because, you know, they got their little thing going down or whatever. But she's just like, are you serious? Like, when she finds that out, she's like, you said you was going legit. Like, what happened to all of that? But he's like, you know what? He's going to go ahead and he's going to take care of this. So then when they go upstairs, it's like everybody's in their freaking apartment. And I just felt like, here we go again with all these people inside. I guess Lakeisha was able to let them in. But I'm just like, this is like too crazy. Like, as soon as you get out the elevator, it's like, I mean, I understand how the building structure works. It's a condo or whatever. It's one of those high-end apartments. But it's like, damn, as soon as you come out the elevator, it's like right into your apartment. And then it's like, you might not want to see people, especially at a time like this. Like, I feel like the only person that should have been there was Lakeisha. So Ghost is pretty much back on his effort mode. Like, he's out to seek revenge. He's going to do what he got to do. Meanwhile, Angela, she's on the exact opposite team. She's having like a little conference with her new team. She has John on her team. She also has Sack on her team. With John, I feel like he's kind of jealous of her. So I don't know if I would have personally picked him to be on the team. I mean, yes, he's good at what he does, but I just feel like his whole objective in life is going to be to get her down or to find her slipping up. And Sack ain't too fond of her neither. So he's another one that's kind of iffy on her team as well. Sack, he comes in like super late, and yeah, he comes in like super late, and he just was like, oh, that he got distracted because of what went down with the St. Patrick's. It was in the paper, and she, you know, they kind of try to dismiss it, but he was like, well, his daughter was killed, so it wasn't about him, it's about his daughter. So Angela looked like she was taken aback for a moment, but she tried to stay on track and continue with her speech. But of course, once she got into private, she started to feel that pain, like, oh my gosh, like she knows how he feels about his kids and how he puts his kids on like this high pedestal and they come before anybody, even her. You know what I mean? Like, a lot of the things that he's done in life was in order to better their life, and so that they wouldn't turn out like he did or whatever, or have to go through the struggles and trials and tribulations that he had to go to get to where he was today. Angela, she did end up going to see Ghost, and she noticed that he's all in black. He got a duffel bag. She's like, what's in the duffel bag? And she asked him, like, is there anything I can do to help? And he's just like, nah, like, he doesn't know anything. He's going to go make funeral arrangements. And, of course, that's a lie, because he had on his I'm ready to kill you outfit on. And he had his duffel bag with his tools that he needed to do what he had to do. And he had on his black gloves. You know, he was ready for war. But he tells her, like, nah, I'm good. He's like, thank you for coming, though. Gives her a little kiss on the cheek. And that was pretty much it. Then Angela ends up going to see Ray Ray, which I thought was crazy, because she found out that Ray Ray had went to go see Tyriq at his school. So she's like, what was it that you were investigating? He makes us some BS excuse about how he thinks that homeboy, that he could have been the one to kill, that homeboy could have been the one to kill his sister, because he's been going on a bad track and he was outside of two robberies that he freaking had a part in, but of course he's not going to say that. So yeah, he's trying to pretty much take the heat off of him and kind of put it on Tyriq real quick. At the same time, Ghost and Tommy, they go to visit the Taínos, and they pretty much torture the leader and kill off all the rest of his people. And through that process, they find out that the Taínos weren't even the ones that did anything, because they don't kill kids, first of all, and they have to have the say-so in order to kill somebody. And third of all, that they killed Julio because Andre put out that hit. So it was a lot that they learned. Ghost didn't really care about that at that moment, but Tommy was definitely making sure that he took note of that. And he's like, word? Like, now he's starting to see that this dude was not down for him. And he was doing pretty much whatever he wanted to do, and pretending like he didn't know stuff that was going down. So now Silver, he goes to see Tasha at her place, and it's good that he came at that moment, because people were saying it's dumb stuff like, oh, this happens, it happened for a reason. I hate when people say that in a moment of tragedy, like, or God knows what happened, or, you know, this is an act of God. Like, somebody's child getting shot and killed that didn't even get to live their full potential in life. This happened for a reason. This is what's supposed to happen. Like, F out of here. I would not want to hear nothing like that. Like, there's something like that would just, it just doesn't make sense. I think that that's just something that people came up with. I mean, maybe in certain instances where it's not such a bad scenario, it may work. But in this type of situation, that's the worst thing. I would, like, probably spit in somebody's face. Like, you know, like, you're disrespecting me by saying that. It happens for a reason. My daughter's dead because this is supposed to happen. Like, nah, I don't want to hear that. That's unacceptable. You know what I mean? So, yeah, so he came, they was talking or whatever, and he tells her that he's in love with her. He's like, I know this is not the right time or whatever, but he says that he's in love with her and he wants to help her to make things right. But she's like, you know, she can't really talk right now. She's in her emotions. She's just like, nah, you gotta leave. So she just pretty much like kind of kicked him out, but I think he understood, because it wasn't the right moment for all that extra emotions, you know, like love, like, dude, y'all just been talking for like a short time. What you talking about? You love her. She gave you that good pom pom, right? All right, so to be honest, I really feel like Dre's days are numbered, because it's like everything is starting to come together. And when he came outside his house or whatever, he meets up with Ray Ray, and Tommy kind of sees him talking to Ray Ray. So he sees that something ain't right, you know, and Ray Ray had his little badge on or whatever. At that moment, the reason why they had met up is because he's trying to get more money from Dre. You know, remember Dre was giving him and what's her name, Jukebox money like every month or whatever, or every week, but he kind of stopped that because Jukebox is dead. But now he's trying to be slick. He's trying to get out of town because he knows that his day is number 2. Like, he already knows, like, okay, I killed this dude's daughter. He's going to come and kill me. You know, he's one way or another, his judgment day is coming. So he's trying to get out of town where nobody can find him. And he's trying to make up a story like, oh, you know, I've been undercover. I got all this stuff on tape. I could take you down real quick, so you better bring me my money. So that was the deal that he was coming up with. Kanan calls up Tommy after he finds out that Raina's dead. And it's funny because Tyriq had also called up Kanan like earlier to try to find out where Ray Ray was. So Kanan's a smart dude. He put everything together and he tells him that he thinks he knows the dude that killed what's his name's daughter, that killed Ghost's daughter. And he's pretty sure that it's Ray Ray because even Tyriq was looking for him, and now Tyriq ain't answering his phone. So Tommy, he ends up pulling up at Ray Ray's place, and this little chick that Tyriq was doing, his girlfriend, Destiny, she was there, and he was ready to bust a cap in her freaking head. Like, he was ready, but he kind of like was kind of bipolar in this scene because he realized that in order to get any type of information, she can't be like mad scared. She has to feel like she can kind of talk to him. And he started talking to her on like a level where it was like, okay, maybe I can kind of talk to this guy and he's a little more rational now. And she gave up like pretty much all the information on her cousin, where he's going to be at, where he's going, that he's the one who did it. Like anything that he didn't know, she pretty much told, you know, and she really didn't want to do it because that's her family. But I mean, my life against his. And plus, like, he kind of messed up everything for her. She was really feeling this dude, and he goes around and kills his brother, his sister, his twin sister at that. Like, that's something you can't take back. And it's like, he just kind of put her into the mix of everything. So yeah, everything was just starting to get real. Tasha, she finds out that it was the dirty cop, and she also finds out when she found out about that from Tommy, she goes to look for Tyriq because she had a feeling that he was probably going to do something stupid. She goes, everybody's like, they don't know where he's at. Then she finally realized that he took her gun. He went into the office, put the code in, took her gun, and he was out. So she already knows, like, okay, he's seeking revenge. So Tyriq, he dead up, switched up. He was on some I don't give an F type of mode. He was just ready to kill off everybody. Like, he went up to Andre, lean up in his system. He had all of the mixture there, and he went ready for blood. I mean, he was all like, yo, I'm about to kill you. Where's Ray Ray at? I want the address. I ain't tell my father nothing about anything, but if you don't tell me, then I'm going to go ahead and tell my father and Tommy everything. That you was the one that hooked me up with Kanan, and you was the one who took me here and took me there, and you was the one that this and that. So Andre had, I guess, no choice. I guess he didn't want to really, like, try to kill Tyriq in broad daylight in the club or whatever. So he was like, you know what? He just gave him the information that he wanted. And he was like, yo, this dude's a bad mother effer. Like, you need to really be careful. And he's just like, I got this. Like, I'm sick and tired of everybody lying to me because that's all that everybody ever does. So, yeah, he was on some pretty much like, it's whatever now. Like, I'm getting revenge. So Tasha is so desperate to find where Tyriq is that she ends up going to Angela's job, you know, and just asks for her help to track his phone to find out where he's at. So she was like, I don't want no cops involved. I just want you to, I know that you had made a clone of James' phone at one point. I want you to do something similar. So she spoke to her, got that done, found out where Tyriq would be. And on top of that, what happened on top of that? Oh yeah, so Angela was just like, you know, she tells her, like, there was this Ray Ray guy that went to his school. He's an undercover cop. He also gave her the scenario that maybe it was Tyriq who killed his sister. She's like, does he have any involvement in this? And she was like, she doesn't know. You know, she can't really trust Angela too much because we've all seen what Angela does. I mean, at the end of the day, she loves her job. And she gonna do what's right or what she feels is right. So she pretty much kind of speculates at the end of the day that, you know, maybe this guy was the one who did it. But Tasha pretty much doesn't really confirm that. She just says, okay. And she's like, you know what? And she tells her as Tasha was leaving, she tells her, if James does something to this guy, he will get the death penalty for this because he is a cop. And that was pretty much the end of that. So Tyriq goes to the spot where he knew that Ray Ray would be, but at the same moment his father was coming, but he had to like break the door down because Tyriq had just got in because somebody was leaving. It's one of them lock types of doors, like the one I have here in my building. So somebody actually has to like either buzz you in or somebody has to be going out. But mine has like 2 locked doors, so it's like it's really hard for you to get in, you know, at least for theirs it was only one. So he gets upstairs and freaking James literally has to break the door window in order to be able to get in. He runs upstairs, you know, trying to get after his son, who was already upstairs because he had took the elevator. And plus, it took him a while to actually break the door to be able to get inside. So he's trying to, you know, pretty much get to the right apartment and everything, running up the stairs. While he runs up the stairs, all of a sudden the shot goes off. What was happening was that Tyriq was getting into it with Ray Ray. Well, not really getting into it. He pretty much had the gun up while he was trying to put the money together to get out of there. And he ends up, you know, pulling out the gun on him. Ray Ray's like, go ahead and shoot me then. What you gonna do? And he's just like, alright, like, I'm gonna do this. And he's like, yeah, okay. You know, pretty much like patronizing him, like just trying to get into his head. And there was a gun on the table. So Ray Ray, I was like, damn, yo, he has the opportunity right there to grab that gun real quick and just kind of shoot him. But luckily, he didn't do it in time. So everybody heard shots go off because Tasha was over there at the same time. Tommy was there. Like, all of them was there. And he got up the stairs. By the time Ghost got up the stairs and he heard the shots, they found out that it was actually homeboy Tyriq that shot him. Like, he got the wolves. I guess he just was thinking about his sister so much that he was like, F this. Boom. Shot him. You know. So Tommy and this dude, they end up like putting the body together. And I'm like, okay, you know, this is some professional joint. But I feel like, damn, like, y'all did all of this. I guess they didn't have enough time. They left mad blood on the floor. You know, there was some evidence as far as like a gun hole in the wall that kind of shows that there was a struggle. Somebody did kill him, you know, and if they find the bullet, because it is a registered gun, I'm pretty sure that they're going to be able to find out that it's Tasha's gun. So, yeah, things ain't looking too good right now for, I guess, for Tasha in a sense. So I was like, damn, yo, this is crazy. So his mother does the same thing that she would have done for Ghost. She kind of just takes him down to the basement, to the incinerator, puts his clothes in there, like the sweater, and then tells him, like, go upstairs, don't talk to anybody, just go straight to my bathroom, scrub your nails with hydrogen peroxide and something else, take a shower, take it twice, like, just wash away all the sins of today, seriously, so that you come out clean and fresh and a new person. So, you know, she gives him his coaching. He does what he has to do. So that pastor from the church that Tommy always confides in, he got a little bit of information from Tommy when Tommy was confessing. And Tommy told him that he's no longer messing with Dre like that because he found out that Dre killed Julio. So the pastor, he kind of took that into consideration. He was just over the whole Andre thing because he's like, wow, like, excuse me, y'all. He has no kind of morals, no values, and he doesn't really want to be caught in the mix with that because he has kids to take care of. So he meets up with him. Yo, Andre straight up is going to hell. I mean, he's going to hell with an express ticket because homeboy he straight up freaking sits next to him, listens to his story, and I'm like, yo, why is the pastor telling him so much? Like, he should have talked to him on the phone or something. Like, you're not cut out for this life. At the end of the day, you still try to do good. Even though you're caught up in a mess, you still try to do good, you know? Maybe it's the money that you needed. I don't know what it is. But you still try to keep things in line, still try to do the right thing. Even though your morals are kind of messed up. So when he tells him that, Dre just kind of comes closer to him, and he's like, he pretty much was just like, yo, I see that you're loyal to Tommy. And he stabs him up, like, right there, and leaves him on the bench, and tells him, I think he said something like, go to hell, or something like that. And I was just like, yo, that's real messed up. He got no respect. None. I used to think he was sexy, too, but, like, now it's just like, you look good, but your character is just kind of, like, effed up. I can't. I couldn't deal with nobody like that. Andre, he meets up with the Jimenez family, and they're kind of like, they're pissed off that the Tainos are gone. So I think that they're going to get it together where they're going to mess up or try to get Ghost and Tommy, because they're like, who ordered this? And Andre's like, I can assure you that none of us in this room did anything. We wouldn't do that, you know? So I think if you put two and two together, it's like, okay, if none of them in here did it, the only people that ain't here is Tommy and what you call it, and Ghost. So now Tasha, she meets up with Terry Silverman, and she's ready to tell him everything, or so I thought, because what she ends up telling him is that she gives him a scenario. What if the person who killed somebody, you know, they were close to them and they went out and killed them, and, you know, blah, 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 giving him the scenario, but not really saying the full story, just saying what she wants him to know. And she's like, you can't tell anybody this. So he was like, well, if James killed somebody, he's going to have to get a lawyer. And she was like, it wasn't him. He's looking at her like, then who was it? She was like, it was me. And he was like, well, I could pretty much either be your lawyer or I can be your lover, but I can't be both. And then she goes in her pocketbook and gives him a little check. And I'm just like, damn, she's pretty much throwing everything that she has away with him, because if they were to find out that they were together, I think that goes against everything. I don't think you can really, like, I don't know how it goes. Like, I don't know if you can actually represent family or not. I feel like I've seen it done before, but I guess it kind of depends. And plus, I be watching shows, so I don't really know too much about the whole law thing, if you can represent family. I don't know if it's kind of like with a doctor, how they're not supposed to, you know, take care of their family. So I don't know if it's something like that. I mean, it does kind of mess things up when you do handle things with your family or loved ones or whatever. So it does kind of make sense if you're not able to, or maybe he just doesn't want to cloud his mind, his judgment, and things like that, and he has to kind of have a certain mindset where it's like, okay, I can't really care too much about you because I have to represent you. And if he's emotionally involved, I guess that could possibly mess up the case. You know, he has to get into like, I'm working mindset now. So yeah, she definitely gives him the check and she tells him, I would like you to represent me. So things definitely have taken a different leap. So now Kanan, Tommy, and Ghost, the threesome, they back together, y'all. And they about to wreak havoc on society. Nah, they ain't about to wreak havoc on society per se, but they about to come at the Jimenez. They notice that now Andre is working with the Jimenez, and I'm pretty sure all of them want to get Andre now, but he's kind of protected. So now I guess they about to go ahead and have a little discussion with the Italians. So this should be pretty interesting, because the Italians, I just thought about it now that I'm talking about this, the Italians are pretty much this dude's family, because he's Italian and Sicilian or whatever. So I guess he's about to call up his father's people, and they about to like get crazy. But I feel like they're pretty bad too, and they get stuff done. But I feel like they're not as involved in the game at the moment, or maybe I could be wrong, because they didn't really show too much. They just showed that his father was not in the game because he's locked up. But if he was not locked up, he probably would be real heavy, and he still has a big influence being inside. So actually, now that I think about it, yeah, that probably is the right people to get. Damn, so Tommy about to team up with his family. Hopefully nothing goes wrong with his father, you know, because I know he's so happy, and Andre would use something like that against him, you know, like they always want to get to the people that's closest to you because they know that's going to hurt you the most. But oh my gosh, everybody, the episode is done. Now we got to wait months till it's back while they writing and stuff. So I guess we'll see what happens. Thanks guys for watching, and be on the lookout for my next videos. Stay fabulous, live free, and soar limitless. I'll see you in the next one.